So, Javier here, Javier Blog 208 here. I just wanted to do an interview. What's your name again?
Alan.
Alan. So we started talking on the train, and he kind of gave some very interesting information about dissent and all. So I just wanted to, what were you, do you want to get into what you were saying, I guess?
Yeah, sure. You talked about your ethnic background.
Yeah.
You said you're a mixture of, correct me if I'm wrong, Mexican, Cuban,
Mexican, Chilean, and Cuban, yeah.
Chilean, and Cuban. And so yeah, so I'm saying like the original Mexicans and Cubans are black people. So you have African descent in you.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Moors used to rule over Spain for 700 years, but after that, the European power came to rise after that, after like I believe 1492. So, and then they started mixing with everyone else, because they have the power to do that. And since they were white men, they can do that and pick every woman that they pleased. There's a book called The Daughters of the Trade. I'm not going to get into it because I haven't read that book yet, but someone told me that from watching the video. And Daughters of the Trade was basically these Dutch men got to go to like African territory. They got to pick whatever black woman they wanted or African woman they wanted and mate with them. And they ended up having kids, of course, and it was like Afro-European descent people. So, and then that spanned over like at least 5 generations.
And you were talking about how Emmett Till actually never whistled at that. We started to get into a discussion about Emmett Till and about what happened to him and then you were talking about how he never actually whistled at that white woman, but just for the idea of somebody to do that back then, as recently as back then, would literally get you killed. And obviously he's not the only example, but it's like there's been other examples throughout history, but he's the most notable one, the one that really brought the change. And kind of similar to he brought a movement up, and kind of similar to what happened to George Floyd, he also brought a movement up. You want to get into that a little bit?
Yes, sir. Like when it happened to Emmett Till was terrible. When I was 11 years old, when my mother told me the story, I actually cried because this innocent boy lost his life. A boy, not even a man yet. So it turns out there's a book called The Blood of Emmett Till.
Wow.
And I never read that book yet. So Carolyn Bryant states, this is what the author says.
And she was the lady that
that basically made the accusations. Yes.
Yeah.
So the author said that when he was having an interview with Carolyn Bryant, she stated that that Emmett Till never did none of that. He never whistled or never grabbed her hand. So I don't know why she made that lie, but that lie led to this boy's death, and it was the most horrific death. I mean, they castrated this boy, and they beat him like cavemen. Horrible. It was sad. But as I was saying, as black men, it goes to show you that it was much worse for us because we didn't have the luxury to date with any woman we wanted, but the black woman did, and that's a clear indication right there. Because you never hear about a little black girl whistling at a white man. If she did, she would still be alive. I guess that white man would probably take it as a compliment. But me and you, as men of color, we had to be careful doing that. So, it goes back to like slavery, how they say that a lot of black women were being raped, but that's actually wasn't all that way true, because it was coercive. A relationship means that they offer them something, and then they gave them something, and then the ladies, just submitted to them. And that's not saying black women are bad, but every woman submits to power, pretty much. So, and that's what happened. So it was okay, white men and black women to have that luxury, that freedom to do whatever they wanted back then. But a black man and a white woman, it was forbidden for them because they were killed for it.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I say that it was much harder for a black man in today's society, and even back then as it is now. Because if me and you did start our race, a white man looks at us like, he gets mad, or a woman of color gets mad at us because they, like I said, they had that freedom to do that. It's like, I can do what I want, but you can't. And that's how it is like in the black community, pretty much. Wow. How the black community was destroyed because yes, the government plays a part in that. But also, the government dumped drugs and guns in the community, and then they used the black woman, feminism too, to say that you don't need a man. So, and and they said that the government gave them, like, they took the food stamps, they offered them food stamps, free housing, free health care, even like school, better opportunities and jobs. So that brainwashed the black woman also, and that made them say that I don't need a man. And then
Wow.
they say that, oh, it's the man's fault. Well, how is it our fault when we're not in a position of power? We had no power to rule over you. So how is it our fault? But they will never admit that it's their fault because they played a part in that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were also mentioning something about the Black Lives Matter movement. What were you thoughts on that?
The Black Lives Matter movement is a sham.
Wow.
Excuse me, I gotta get some more housekeeping. Sorry. And the reason why it's a scam because they don't care about black lives. Okay, if Black Lives Matter, there's in the black community, black people are killing each other. They don't speak about that.
Yeah.
As soon as a white cop kills somebody, then all of a sudden, oh, there's a big movement and all that. And usually it's a black dude getting killed. Now you got black women saying that our lives matter, but you're not the one getting killed. Statistics show that you're not the one being killed. It's black men being killed. It's men of color being killed. Okay, and really, when you're marching for us, you're not really marching for us. You're marching for us because you're proud that we're dead. To be honest with you, because you don't want a black man to lead. It's usually just black women and white men. They run that group. So how that group started is it's black lesbians and white men. So they run that. So it's just like they don't care about black lives. It's nothing. It's all a sham. They're just marching. They're marching on the fact that a black man died, and they don't really care. The only time a black man matters is if he's dead or if he's gay, or
Wow.
they'd rather have a transvestite lead. That's pretty much it.
Wow,
So
that's fascinating.
So they don't want black men really in the Black Lives Matter movement. Hopefully, you can correct me when I'm saying if I'm saying something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, like what the story with Breonna Taylor. You can look this up. Like Breonna Taylor, like I'm sorry for what happened to her. I mean, it's a shame that she died like that. But as I was saying, how the black community was destroyed. Breonna Taylor was with a thug, and in the black community, a lot of black women choose thugs or a man that they never wanted to be with, and they get pregnant by them. But beyond that, she chose a man that was no good. He was doing nothing with himself. He was a thug. And then cops came to her house, and because they was looking for him, her boyfriend, and they ended up shooting him. And the boyfriend fired at the cops, and they ended up shooting the whole place up.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she was with a thug.
Wow.
And she was a cop. So wait a minute, you couldn't pick an educational brother, or to have as your boyfriend? But that's their mentality.